Hi, this is Dean, and this is the video in which we finally get to play Minuet number 1. There was one video on just the hooked bowing, and then another video on the fingering, and now here's the one on the bowing where we kind of put it all together. It's not going to be too difficult. I think the bowing is pretty easy, but it does take a little bit to do some of the bowing patterns. The first bowing pattern we've already done in another video. So we're not going to go over that one. I'm hoping that you have done that enough times on your own that you have it. So now I'm just going to go over a few other ones that aren't that difficult, but when you add in the difficulty of the fingering, then it sometimes gets to be a little unwieldy, a little hard to do it all at once. So, one of the bowing patterns in here is a quarter note, 2/8 notes, and another quarter note, 1, 2, and 3. And I like to do that with a long down bow and then 2 notes at the tip, and then a long up bow, and on the long up bow it tends to kind of come off the string just a little bit. Let's try about 5 or 10 of these. 2 and 3. There were 6 of them. And that occurs in about 5 or 6 different places in this piece. And one place is at the very beginning here, the second measure of the piece. And hopefully you have your measure numbers in your music so that it's easier to get to where I'm talking about quickly. So measure number 2 has a walking first to third finger, which you want to do. And then when we add the bowing in with the rhythms, it is like this. And we should end with 2 fingers on the violin. So let's do that about 4 or 5 times. Here we go. There we go. It occurs again in measure number 10, the second measure after the repeat bar. And this time it's a second finger C sharp. Let's try that. 2 and 3. All right, let's find some other spots like that. Measure 17. Yes, and this time we're using a second finger low, like. Let's try that now. Here we go, measure 17, 4 times. 2 and play. The next measure, measure 18, is similar to the second measure. Well, it is exactly the same as the second measure. So let's put measures 17 and 18 together since they're the same bowing pattern. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. All right, and I have forgotten to do measure number 7, which uses a second finger high for F sharp. So let's do that one about 4 times. Here we go. All right. And then we have a number of times when we start a series of eighth notes on an up bow. So one example of that is in measure number 12. And so we'll start on measure number 11 to get that ready. That's a down bow on measure number 11. And then that puts it as an up bow on the beginning of measure 12, I believe. Let's try that together 3 times. 2 and 3. Again. Again. All right, and then that occurs probably another time or two. But for now, let's now go over the walking fingers in measure number 5 and 6. And in another video, we did the walking fingers of. And so now we're just going to now put it in place in the piece. So I'm going to start on measure 5. I'm going to go a little slower than I have for some of these other measures, like this. So let's do that much on measure 5. And I won't discuss all the holding fingers down and walking and all that, because hopefully you have gotten that in the other video. So here we go at measure 5. 2 and 3. So we do it again. 2 and 3. This time let's go and finish out the entire line. So measures 5 through 8. 2 and 3. All right. Now we should probably do it in the second part of the piece. This would be measure number 13, I believe it is. Same finger pattern, it's just that we now go up a string. So here we go. Two and play. All right. We should probably do measures 1 and 2 a few times, and then measures 3 and 4 a few times, just because it has the hook bowing in it, and this is a video on bowing. So here's measures 1 and 2 together, and you can just join me right away. It's the beginning of the piece. 2 and play. Let's do it again. 2 and 3. And because we've walked our fingers, we're going to end with both our third and first finger on the violin. Last time. 2 and 3. All right, and now measures 3 and 4. Now we are going to stop our bow and change our fingers like this. And also that B is the half note, which means we have a slow down bow and a fast up bow. So you can see we have a reversal there. We have like a fast, slow, slow. And then we have a slow, fast. I don't think we need to do that as a separate exercise, but you could if you like. So here we are at measure number 3 now. 1, 2, and 3. Two and play. One, 2, and play. All right. I don't think I've gone over all the spots that could be done. Oh, yeah, let's do one more. This is measure number 19, the last bar on the 4th line, and then into measure number 20. So it would be like 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. You can see this is another example of a long down bow that takes you out to the tip, and then 2 short notes at the tip, and then a long down bow that takes you up bow, that takes you back again to wherever you started. So let's do measures 19 and 20 together a few times. 1, 2, and 3. 2, 3, and again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Last time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's just, here we are at about 11 and a half minutes or so, and now we're going to play Minuet 1, the moment we've finally been waiting for, with repeats, shall we? Here we are at the beginning, 1, 2, and 3. Circle bow. Circle bow. Two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Circle bow. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Two, three. A monumental piece, Minuet number 1. I hope it went well for you. It's a good one, and it'll get you ready to play a lot of harder pieces in books 2, 3, and beyond that. So, good job, and I will see you later. Keep practicing.